Hey, welcome to the next episode of Startup Q&A. As you know, took a little hiatus, had to get some things right, but let's concentrate on this next question. So I have my handy dandy iPad here. So for this one, it says, founders that have raised VC money, how efficient is the process? I run a newsletter focused on early stage startups. So one thing that you have to understand is that your process will not be the same as others. And also, your market is really tough. If you're in a newsletter for startups, to raise VC funding backed on that is going to be difficult. That isn't to say that it isn't possible, because a lot of VCs will look for your website or your newsletter as a way to separate signal from the noise, and also a way to have deal flow for those different startups. And so if you think that it is a very viable option and you're actually finding diamonds in the rough, then it is possible to raise funding. It's just going to be a little difficult. So one thing that I would do is I would really promote any type of engagement numbers. So click-through rates. If you see that customers are signing up off of that newsletter, that's probably a really good way to go about it. If you remember, Product Hunt is backed by venture capital, and it started off as just like an update, which now is called a newsletter, but back then it was just it was called an email list. And so a newsletter is just a new form of email list. And they got venture-backed funding, but they were able to show engagement. They were able to show that they actually were a value that added to the ecosystem. And so that's something that you want to be able to do if you're going to try and raise funding. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit harder, but you just saw that Morning Brew raised a lot of money. They just hit 2 million subscribers. They started off really slow, and now they're ramping up and diving into different types of media. And so that could be you as well. So don't discount the fact that you're a newsletter startup, and don't also discount the fact that you're going after startups yourselves. KnowCap itself is a startup serving startups. And so there is opportunity there to be able to raise funding. Just make sure that you have your process laid out and you have the numbers that investors want to see. And if you get a rejection, ask them why. Make sure that you understand where you are in the process and how you can get better.